Okay. So
We're here. Season
we're
2.
here. Season 2. Hi, witches.
Wow, witches.
Do you want to say it too?
I can. Hi, witches.
We have a guest today. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Eggie. I would like to say I'm a pretty big expert on the Owl House. Got Kyla introduced to it.
Who got me introduced to it?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Binging it for the past couple days.
You have thoroughly impressed me. You have watched so much in such a short amount of time.
Should we start by saying, like, hi, welcome to season 2, where we're
Oh.
going to discuss all things witchy and fantabulous.
Yeah, hi. Welcome to season 2, where we're gonna discuss all things witchy and fantabulous.
And I'm Kaija,
And I'm Kyla.
and our pronouns are she, her.
Yes, my pronouns are also she, her.
And then I'm Eggie. My pronouns are they, them.
And we're here to fuck shit up. FSU doesn't stand for Florida State University.
I am so excited to be recording again. I have been so bored on Monday nights, like legitimately.
The first thing I need to ask, before we even get any more into the Owl House, if Hootie is the Owl House, does that make him the main character?
I would like to think in a sense he is. I can't speak too much on it because I don't know how far you are right now.
I got 4 minutes of season 3.
Oh, you're almost there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
no, it's season 3, like the latest episode spoilers. I can't really talk about it.
Yeah, no, we can't spoil that because I got 4 minutes into it, then my shift ended, and I was like, shit, I gotta cut up the dog. I have to cook my own dinner. And then I started watching it again, and it backtracked like 3 minutes. And I was like, shit. And I thought it was the same length as the other episodes, and they're not. And I was like, I'm not gonna finish by 6:45.
Yeah, because finale of season 2 really brings up the actual Owl House part of it, which
The game
of Owl House. At the time of this recording, we still have the last episode to actually come out. They say it's sometime in April.
Shit.
Yeah.
I'm literally gonna forget everything that happened by April.
No, I'm so excited for it. I actually have a tattoo planned in April for the finale, so I'm excited.
What are you getting?
I am getting Hunter's Palisman Flapjack.
Isn't that so cute?
Yeah. I don't know what's gonna look like. I was just like, hey, like I just want Flapjack, whatever style you want, just do it. I trust my tattoo artist.
I need to write down all the things that I'm thinking because I don't want to discuss them right now. I want to get to like the part in which we I I had theories about Flapjack and they didn't come true. But I don't want to like just start spewing off a theory that I had and we're not even at that part yet.
Okay. Let me just lay down the groundwork and then we can just like talk about whatever the fuck we want. So The Owl House is a Disney show created by Dana Terrace. Dana, right? You said Dana?
Dana.
Okay.
Correct.
The Owl House is about a 14-year-old named Luz Seda and how she's a little too creative for her peers and school environment. She makes weird taxidermy. She uses live snakes in her book report. And as consequence, she's sent to reality check summer camp. But before she can get on the bus, she sees an owl steal some garbage and she runs off into the woods to chase it into an abandoned shack. And the shack turns out to be a portal to the Boiling Isles, where she meets Ida the Owl Lady, the most powerful and criminally wanted witch in the Boiling Isles, and her roommate King. Luce decides to forego summer camp in favor of becoming an apprentice witch. And that is the premise of the Owl House.
He didn't just steal some garbage, he stole her book.
Which she threw in the garbage.
She did throw in the garbage. Well, actually, no. Didn't her mom throw it in the garbage?
She herself physically put into the garbage because she was trying to like move away from that. But then she was going to go back for it, and that's when she saw Albert taking it.
Yeah, it was The Great Witch Azura, which is like this series of witchy books that Luce really loves, and she was like trying to move on from it, and then she wanted it back. That makes me sad.
Yeah, especially with the context of season 3 of what's revealed in the first episode. Because there's actually a lot of backstory as to why she really loves Azura.
I need to rewatch the season 3 episodes. Like, I literally already forgot. I just watched it like a month ago.
Good news, there's only 2 of them out.
I know, but like I just watched it.
They're both an hour long though, so there's a lot of things to unpack.
There's a couple main things to know about the Boiling Isles. One thing is that there is an emperor. His name is Emperor Bellos, and he's the main antagonist.
And he's a piece of shit.
Yes. There are 9 main covens, and the whole shabam is that you have to join a coven, and if you don't, you're considered a wild witch. And when you join a coven, all your other types of magic are sealed away, and you can only do that coven's type of magic.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is Ida is cursed. She turns into an owl beast.
It's actually kind of cute.
I think so too. Oh,
Yes.
wait. Does the
I'm only an hour and a half behind.
I
Much.
I know.
I'm pretty sure it happened by then. Like, are we talking about Harpy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Harpy.
Yeah, Harpy already
yeah.
it already happened.
Harpy Ida, I stand.
So fine.
I love Harpy Ida.
The bad bitch.
I forgot what happened in the I binged it, all of it, so like it's all like smushed together for me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because season 3 was already out when I finished the end of season 2, so like I just watched all of it.
No, I've been watching pre-season 2. So before things really hit the fan. So I've been watching them as episodes came out.
So Ida was cursed by her sister because she wanted to get into the Emperor's Coven when they were kids, but then Ida wasn't gonna fight her to get into the coven anyway, so it kind of backfired.
Find that out too, though, and she didn't find out until a little while, because if I'm not mistaken, and like we discussed just now, I kind of binged them too, and everything's kind of blurred. But she said at the beginning of season 1 that she didn't know how she got cursed.
Right. Yeah, and whenever
well, it happened. So,
yeah.
but I also I don't know if she found out when.
I just watched the episode where she found out. It was when Lilith had captured Luce when they were on the field trip, and they were fighting. And Lilith was like, if you're so much better than me, then why were you so easy to curse? And then she was like, oh shit, I just said that out loud.
Okay.
But then she was like, but Emperor can fix it. It's fine.
I missed that.
But then he was a bitch, so.
Yeah, and that's what was the whole season finale with Lilith taking half of the curse. So both of them now have the curse.
Yeah.
That was some good stuff.
That was emotional watching that.
I like that they both have one gray eye now.
Yeah, it's such a cute little detail of those smaller details. There's another thing.
And they're opposite eyes on them.
Yeah, there's another eye detail later in episode 1 of season 3 that you'll notice. Let me tell you what happened. I was just sobbing. I never cried so hard.
Oh, there's a little critter named
King.
King who reminds me of my dog.
Yeah, he does. Like, appearance wise, he definitely gives off Ziggy vibes.
Attitude wise as well.
You think Ziggy is like a bloodthirsty, power hungry
100%, yes. Chaotic bullshit, yes. 100%.
I love King so much. I want a plushie of him so bad.
Yeah, when it comes to King, and his like progression of a character, it really got me. Because he was very like a selfish like little toddler, because he is still just a kid even like right now in the storyline. But you do kind of see him progress with like those thoughts of, oh, why doesn't like my dad or like my family want me? Um, and then with Ida, like actually officially adopting him, oh, it's so
Oh, I love
beautiful in that sense.
I have a note on here that says, bro, King is gonna have like borderline personality disorder or something because he thinks his family didn't want him.
Yeah.
And I was like, relatable.
Oh.
Well, especially with the episode where it's kind of revealed that he is a Titan,
Oh yes.
by visiting the people who want him dead. There were
Yeah.
the collector's followers. I don't know if you guys like pieced that together because it was kind of two different things apart.
Yeah.
But the people who were trying to actively kill him are worshippers of the collector and the collector's family.
Hmm.
Do we see the actual collector in season 2, like towards the end at all? Okay.
Yes, that is in
Okay.
the finale.
Kaya, how do you feel about the collector's like design? Because I love it.
So the collector gave me 8-year-old vibes,
I mean, yeah.
but I think the collector should have had the design of like a 4-year-old. Their energy definitely was like toddler vibes.
Yeah, I get
But
that.
like disgustingly powerful, chaotic, good Lord Jesus toddler vibes.
I wanted to talk about the choosy hat.
Oh yes.
The choosy hat. Oh,
It's like the Sorting Hat, but like off-brand.
Yeah.
And it likes to eat people.
Yeah.
mhm.
I was rewatching season 1 and I like that totally like either went over my head or like I wasn't paying attention. That shit was funny. The last episode of season 1 got me not just the first time I watched it, but the second time too. I like fully like was crying when Ida says goodbye to Luce when she's about to get petrified and like they say they love each other. And I'm just sitting there like
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ida's incredibly self-sacrificing. Because she does it again later when she meets Rain. Like we all meet Rain up for the first time. Thinking that her kids are gonna abandon her, so she was just like, well, might as well like leave before things get bad.
Hmm.
Ida had a lot of development as a character.
So much.
I love her so much. Who's everyone's favorite character?
Oh, Hunter by far. I feel like that's obvious for me.
Mm.
Have to highly contemplate. Yep.
It's only been 3 days, okay? Um, it's between Ida and Amity and Mr. Bump, Professor Bump.
Oh my gosh, I love
Good
Professor Bump.
choice.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even
Because
think about him.
he just kind of like saves the day out of nowhere in season 2. Like he just slowly makes his way in.
And you can also tell that he actually cares about children, especially like the episode where it was like younger Ida.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I just watched that one on my lunch break.
Yeah, like, he's like actually in it to like for the kids. Like he's
Yeah.
not being an asshole.
Also,
Um,
his talisman or whatever is really neat.
you
I
know, I
like
was
his
Yeah,
design.
like allows him to see. Yeah.
I was wondering the hell out of that. I was like, what the fuck is that? Is that like some funky hat, a weird swim cap? Like what are we doing here? And then everything made sense when he took it off, and I was like, oh, all right. Because I was actually wondering, I'm like, am I gonna get an answer for that? I did.
So which is it?
Oh, it's one of those 3. It's fine.
I
I
think
don't
my favorite is Ida.
I do like her a lot. Oh, I like Lilith as well.
Mhm.
Also, the voice actors that they casted for the both of them, like their voices are so similar but different enough. Amazing.
I want to say, do you guys want to hear a little fun fact about Ida? If you guys are
Yes.
also Gravity Fall fans.
I haven't seen enough of Gravity Falls, but I was at Box Lunch yesterday and I was like, oh, they've got Gravity Falls stuff, so where's the Owl House stuff?
Yeah,
Good
surprisingly, Owl House does
question.
not have merch. Like it really doesn't. A lot of it is smaller creators. If you guys want Owl House merch, especially if like a king plushie, the Mystery Shack. If you look up the
Is
Mystery
that
Shack,
not
they have so
official?
much. It's I don't think it's official.
It's okay.
It's honestly, if anything, it's the most official thing I could find.
I prefer small creators over Disney.
Hmm.
I would like to hear the fun fact.
Yes, hit me with.
Yes. So fun fact, like before this fun fact, is that Alex Hirsch is also on the creative team, which he is the creator of Gravity Falls. So they like to put a little bit of Gravity Falls and Owl House and vice versa into each universe. So it's kind of like assumed that it is the same universe, like happening side by side. So the fun little fact is that Grunkle Stan once said that he was married once. She was wearing a 30 and flirty shirt. And then the next morning took out with the car and like all the money, whatever. Later, though, you do see like Ida owns a 30 and flirty shirt. So it is kind of confirmed that Ida and Grunkle Stan were married at one point. And Ida took off with his money.
So I remember hearing this theory and I was like obsessed with it. I love the idea that Ida was like possibly romantically inclined toward Grunkle Stan. I love that
Even if it
idea.
was just for one night for the money, like whatever,
Yeah.
whatever she has to do.
This is the old guy with the glasses and the hat, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I have a question. So either at the end of season 2 or at the beginning of season 3, Luce said to Hunter something about him being I wrote it down, but I left
A
the stick.
Grimwalker?
Thank you. What the hell
Yes.
does it mean?
So it's still kind
Spoiler?
of, yeah, Grimwalker. It's still kind of debated because they don't really go super into exactly what a Grimwalker is. You do get some more visuals though in the latest episode that came out. There's a lot of background and like references as to what it is. Especially with like Hunter's eyes being purple. That's what I was talking about before. That's one of the signs of being a Grimwalker. In the episode Hollow Mind, actually, is when they really kind of go into Hunter's and his like ancestors' history. Because every time Bellows makes a Grimwalker, it always betrays him. And then he just makes another Grimwalker. So they don't go super into detail about what exactly Grimwalkers are, but they are pretty much clones.
Okay, now I love spoilers so much that when I get a theory, I just Google it to find out if it's true. Because Mama Clawthorn,
Yeah,
Mama
Clawthorn.
Clawthorn said that there was a human before Luce, and I was like, it's the Emperor, isn't it? And I Googled it, and I was right.
Philip Littebane, which turns into Bellows.
And I fell into a rabbit hole, and then I was like, I need to find out everything else that I'm missing out on, that I just found out. I watched it this morning, so it's not like I got too ahead of myself. Where was I going with this?
We were starting with Grimwalkers.
Philip has a brother, Caleb.
Yes, his brother's name was Caleb.
I'm guessing that all of these Grimwalkers are clones of him.
Correct. It's all clones of Caleb, the original brother.
And he's dead.
He's very dead, yes.
I'm guessing he fucked shit up for his brother, huh?
Yeah, so in the episode Hollow Mind, you kind of get a glimpse of what happened. And then also later in season 3, you kind of get some more context clues. Overall, from what we've gathered, is that Caleb fell in love with the witch. Philip hated that and then proceeded to make his whole like mission about killing witches.
We hate it.
So Hunter isn't actually his nephew.
No, it is a clone that he made, which there has been numerous other clones that have been made prior to him that all suffered the same fate of, ended up dying or assumingly getting killed by Bellows.
So it's safe to assume that he would have been killed had he not gotten the fuck out of there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was gonna be the intention because Bellows made a comment being like, "Oh, like every one of them has betrayed me, and it's like sad because you're the one who looks most like him."
Yes, I remember that, and I was wondering about that.
Mm-hmm.
And that really sucks that he said that to Hunter, because like imagine being Hunter and having that said to you. Like
I
Mm-hmm.
think he's just a little bit sociopathic and has no regard to anybody else's emotions and just doesn't
oh,
care.
absolutely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's also like, I don't know. I feel like the question of like immortality and whatever, like how old is he, Riley? Like he's super fucking old, right?
100%.
Bellows, oh, like thousands.
Right. And so like whenever people are like, would you want immortality? I feel like after a long time, like living for a long time, you would start to become a huge asshole, like no matter who you are.
Well, like
Mhm.
Luce was even saying to him, like, you don't understand the human realm as it is now. Like, you've
Mm-hmm.
been here for so long, so much has changed. Also, that sense of style sucks now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Literally, it does.
Like, I feel like people would get so wrapped up in what they used to know, what used to be, and wouldn't be able to like comprehend and process all of the changes in technology.
Yeah.
Republicans like stuck in their ways and they're old and
Yeah.
Something else I wrote down is that I wish Kikimora got a redemption arc, but I realized that not everyone can have a redemption arc. I just kind of wish she had one. Like, you remember it was during the parade episode where like we thought she was chill for a second, but then she actually wasn't.
she
Like I kind of wish she got a redemption episode.
she kind of got a redemption arc because she brought King to the creator, collector. Because she was
Which,
ultimately like, fuck this dude. Here you go. I'll help you out. But
yeah, her whole character is focused towards like, I want to be in charge, I want to be in power. So the moment when Bellos was not giving that to her, she was like, okay, I'm out. But yeah, no, I agree. Kikimora could have done more. She does show up again in season 3, which that's spoilers for another thing. But yeah,
I don't know when to insert my thing about sigils and glyphs
right now,
because right now, okay.
let's just jump into it.
This is the only witchy thing that I got. um because sigils are something that is used in actual witchcraft. So do we know what a sigil is?
mad.
Traditional sense, no idea.
So a sigil is a symbol with magical meaning. In medieval magic, their like sole purpose was to summon angels or demons, but in modern magic, they're a form of like chaos magic. So basically you write down an intent, you turn it into a symbol and charge it with like fire or water. And then the idea is that you use it so much that you forget the original intent, and the more you forget it, the more potent it becomes, which it's chaos magic is very weird. And I am not fully versed in it, but I do a lot of sigil work. So chaos magic is highly individualized and like basically separated from any religion and heavily based on like the singular practitioner's own gnosis. So like there's no one definition basically. That is basically all I had as far as like real life witchcraft goes, because the glyphs that Luce uses to do her magic are very reminiscent of sigils. If you Google like sigil or something like that, most likely like a seal, a demon seal from the Lesser Key of Solomon will come up. And to be honest, they look pretty sick. But that's not what I'm using or what most modern witches are using.
Talismans and palismans.
Yeah, they're familiar almost.
Yeah, I guess. Oh yeah, palismans kind of are like familiars. And talismans are, I'm not very well versed in talismans. I mean, I'm more well versed in charms. Charms are like items that are imbued with a spell or an intent, and you can either carry them with you or put them in a certain part of, a house or whatever to ward or, basically whatever the intent is.
Mm-hmm.
Familiars, we have talked about familiars in the Crucible episode.
And the Sabrina episode.
But to reiterate, not all pets are familiars, but most familiars are pets.
Mm-hmm.
Like my little Eugene is not a familiar. He is just a cat. Some people have pets that will bring them things for their craft, like, I don't know, feathers or what have you. Or they will help them channel messages or basically watch over them while they do crafts. Not every pet is a familiar, and it's actually a big pet peeve of mine when people say that they're just dog is their familiar, because it's just their dog most of the time.
You can just say you love your dog.
Yeah, and like maybe that's me being a hater, and I don't mean to be a hater, but it's just a pet peeve.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, get it? Like a pet peeve because it's their pet. But that's all I got about that.
There's also the staffs too.
The staffs, yeah. And they also use a training wand at one point.
Yes.
So we talked about wands before too, which can be used to direct your energy. Staffs are pretty much the same, I would assume, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
People don't really use staffs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when it comes to just like things in general, witchy. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Luce and like where she's located is in Connecticut, which has a lot of ties.
Northeast, yeah. New England. Witchy.
Which she lives in Gravesfield.
Is that a real city?
No, I'm pretty sure it's not. But there is a statue of Caleb and Philip, if I remember right, or like in like their ancestors of the witch hunts.
I just Googled it. It is not a real place.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of people have Googled if it's a real place.
Yeah, because they go a little bit more into the background of the human realm aspect of the witch hunts in the first episode of season 3.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Does that man, the curator, come back in season 3?
He does. That's going to be episode 2, because episode 1 is strictly in the human realm. So that's where I'm a little bit curious to see where the collector versus titan aspect of the story will go, because we only have one more episode left and they really haven't given us too much. There is a scene in season 3 where, if people who really dive into the theories and like the language behind it, from what we can gather, the collector does have like higher like parents, pretty much like somebody who's like more mature, like much older than the collector themselves, which is just like how Keen is in his position, where there are people who used to be older but they've kind of wiped each other out. So now we just have the two like kids from each side, and I'm curious to see where this is going.
I didn't think about it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with how that second episode of the most recent season ended.
Yeah, it's all coming together. So I'm curious to see if they're gonna actually like reveal like more of the collector's backstory, because we already got so much of King's. Like we already know a good portion of that, but we don't know why the collector and their side and why they're like that.
We haven't talked about how the Owl House was canceled by Disney.
Mm-hmm.
And the official reason is because it doesn't fit with their branding, which like I see it, but also it's very gay, and people suspect that it's because it's very gay that they're canceling it. And Egg, you explained the pin thing to me, but I don't remember how exactly you worded it. But the pin thing has to do with like the gay content on Disney Plus, right?
When you say the pin thing,
like the Disney, like all of a sudden Disney Plus prompted people to put pins on their profile.
yes. Yeah, no, there's a lot of changes Disney's making. One of the big things actually that they kind of released is that the new cartoons that are coming out are no longer going to be serialized, which a lot of people are having issues with. Serialized meaning that it's not a continuous plot. They're like episodic. So one of the
Oh,
new ones that
Like
just came
how
out,
it
yeah,
shows used to be like freaking Arthur.
yeah, where it's just
yeah.
like a one-off, basically.
That's why.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I one of the new ones that just came out, what was I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's like Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, if I remember right. They only
I
have six
saw an ad
episodes
for
out.
that. Yeah.
It's beautiful. I really liked it. It's episodic. Yes, it's not serialized, but it is really good. But it's just kind of sad that we are losing those serialized shows from Disney because, as we can see, it's been a success with Gravity Falls and Owl House, Amphibia.
I was thinking about when I was a kid and I was watching shows that were the same rating as the Owl House is. So like this is the 1990s, so 1998-ish going on. And I can say that if these shows were serialized, so we're talking like Little Mermaid, the series, out of the box, um, PB&J Otter, shit like that. If
Mhm.
these were serialized, I would have had no clue what the hell was going on because my little 5-year-old brain did not understand that. I was just like, "Oh, Little Mermaid, what's going on in this episode?"
Mhm.
I wouldn't have been able to follow that. And like the shows came on at different times, like every day, I swear. Like I didn't know when new episodes were out. I just knew that it was on. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
I wouldn't have been able to follow it, and I know that for sure, but maybe it's different now because technology is not the same as it was 25 years ago.
Yeah, because it's also interesting because it's obvious that the Owl House is not meant for too young of people. Like obviously, like anybody can sit down and enjoy the Owl House. I feel like it is directed towards more of a like older audience, like like 10, 12, that kind of range.
Mm.
So I
I
think Disney's really pulling away from like that and going towards more younger,
they did
which
talk
to be fair,
about
it is Disney.
they did talk about demons in it, and I would not let a 7-year-old watch a show where they're constantly talking about demons. So
Hmm.
that's fair.
I remember when this show first came out, I saw TikToks think pieces about like Disney is teaching their kids witchcraft, and it's like literally
Shut
no, they're not.
up.
Did you watch the show? I I don't wish they were teaching your kids witchcraft. But like it, it it like I was gonna say that like for my benefit. But it's not anything like, yes, there are demons in it, and I personally, if I had a kid, probably wouldn't until they're like about 7-ish, probably maybe 6, maybe wouldn't let them watch it. But like, it's not teaching your kids witchcraft. Literally shut your mouth.
Let me just say, your kid can draw something in a circle and nothing's gonna happen.
Hmm.
Put the laptop away, Becky.
They even show you when she goes into the human realm, nothing's going to happen.
That's true.
Yeah, they do. It's only when you're closer to the witch's realm because you notice that like Luz's magic does actually start working when she gets closer.
To the
This is
portal.
season 3. Yeah, it's season 3. When she gets closer to the portal to the witch's realm, that her glyph magic starts working again.
I thought it was interesting though, because the born witches, for lack of better words, because my brain's just, they were able to use their magic in the human realm.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
I thought was
Because they have a bile sac in their heart that lets them make magic.
Can we talk about the word bile? Because ooh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
gross.
Yeah, that whole
Yes.
episode was just different types of demons. Like the bipedal has a bile sac. So I'm like, that's weird.
Kind of gross.
Hmm.
But I like that they explained that. I like when my magic worlds have explanations, and I like when kids shows do that because kids deserve explanations and well-written plots too.
So it was really interesting to know that there was like three different types of like demons per se on the Boiling Isles. And to learn that Hootie is actually an insect like type, like he's a bug type, was really funny.
I just remembered like in season 1, like in one of the early episodes, there's that really weird scene where he like sheds his skin and it's just his
Oh,
skeleton
that's actually
face.
like I believe episode 1 of season 2. Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I just like
Or
all of a sudden it
he's like
like
he literally takes
flashed.
his entire skin off and it's just a skeleton. Yeah, that's it's
It flashed in my
horrifying.
brain and it was
So
disgusting.
another question, and I was thinking about this. They mention a lot that it's like the demons and the witches. And I'm assuming, but I'm not certain, that in this realm there are types of creatures, and those two types of creatures are demons or witches, and that witches are not a type of demon and vice versa.
Yeah, they did, or at least Hootie, when he was given his explanation, is just bipedal in general will have a bile sac. So I think he was kind of saying that witches are, in a sense, a demon.
Okay.
So is everything on the Boiling Isles a demon?
That's where I'm trying to figure out because when it comes to Belos's like overall goal is he wants to take down witches. So I'm thinking he didn't actually take a demon class like King did. Because he really doesn't care about the demons like within itself. He was just like, oh, just witches in general. I want them to die. So that's where I'm thinking, just in general, like with Hootie's like explanation, just bipedal has a bile sac that they are in a sense demons.
Interesting. Well, I guess there's Titans too then.
Yeah, since King was not any of three of them. Yeah. So I'm curious to see when it comes to King and when he starts growing, because we see how big Titans grow. The entire Boiling Isles is settled on a carcass of a Titan.
Right.
So like how long does that take?
He's just a baby.
He's
Well,
just
I
a
was
baby.
well, I was just thinking like he got that new power where he screams and it's like a big powerful scream and it knocks things back. We only have one more episode, right? And I don't think that's enough time for him to like get any bigger or do anything else. Like I think
Yeah.
he's gonna stay a baby.
Unless they do a time skip, which in my personal opinion, I would hate if they did a time skip.
That
Like
would
if
be
it
a
was the very
lot.
end just to show how everybody's doing. I don't want that, me personally. A lot of people would be torn on like what they would want on that, but I don't think it would be great for the Owl House to have time skip.
I don't think I would want that either, honestly.
How would it leaves room for interpretation?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's better that way.
Well, we'll see soon enough how they do things. Because again, I'm assuming it's just like another hour. I don't know if they're gonna do like an hour and a half or something like that for the finale. But yeah, I don't know how they're gonna do all that. Like, because there's so many things that they have to touch and that's left unanswered. Like Luz's like whole thing of whether or not she's gonna be staying in the human realm or the demon realm, because there's not currently a way for her to just go back and forth willy-nilly.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what I think is going to happen, acknowledging the fact that I've only been in season 3 for 4 minutes. Luce is going to get this little button that creates the portal door, and she can just flip back and forth. One can wish, one can dream.
Yeah.
And she's going to do that with blood from King that he has donated, because Titan blood does the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Ida and Rain are gonna live happily ever after.
They're
Hell yeah.
canon. Mm-hmm.
And Hunter's gonna go tell his uncle to go fuck himself. Uncle.
Air quotes.
I mean, you did get one thing right.
We still have an episode though. Like any one of the other things could happen still.
Mm-hmm. We still have one more episode. No, I think for sure that like that's probably what Luz is going to happen. She's going to go back and forth from the human to the demon realm.
Hi, you look like upset.
Listen, I have in my notes Titan's blood. ... King is a Titan. God. King reminds me so much of Ziggy. Duke probably has allergies too.
Wait, King has allergies?
He probably does.
He's allergic to bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a bullshit starter. He starts bullshit.
He literally does. I love Amity and Luce.
Oh yes.
I didn't realize that people shipped Willow and Hunter until like last episode that came out.
Oh, you didn't. So Huntlow is actually a huge topic in the fandom right now. Funny enough, I don't know if you knew this.
It's called Hollow. That's adorable.
No, Huntlow.
Oh, Huntlow.
Huntlow.
That's still pretty cute.
Because there was recently a Tumblr poll where it was just like the most popular ships, and in the very first bracket, it was Huntlow versus DSTL, so Dean and Castiel from Supernatural.
What?
And everybody thought it was really funny if everybody just voted for Huntlow instead of DSTL that has took over Tumblr for how many years? And Huntlow did end up winning.
Why
because they thought it was funny.
Why were they even pitted against each other? Those are so
wildly different, right?
Worlds.
Well, I mean, I was looking at some of the other ships and I didn't think they picked some of the best ships for this. Like they're not, a lot of them were not popular. But yeah, no, they won that poll, and then they won the second poll that I can't remember the ship to. I think it was some sort of Undertale ship. But yeah, the poll is ongoing right now. So there's a lot of discourse about the ship. A lot of people don't like Huntlow, which to me, I think it makes sense.
I think it's cute.
I think it's cute. Like, is it my all-time favorite ship? No, that would be Rain and Ida. Like, they're number one in my heart. But Huntlow's cute. Like, no bad vibes with that.
Did you also not register Willow and Hunter at all until I said it?
Us.
Yeah. I didn't, because apparently I was gonna say everyone, not everyone, but like a lot of people ship that, and I like that totally went over my head.
Ever since the Flyer Derby episode, actually, because that's when Willow became the captain.
Right.
That Hunter is like, he's always like, it was like, I love authority. So that when Willow was put into authority, he was like, yeah, I'll follow her. And then it was, what was it, like, I can't remember the exact name, but it was something like Maze. Like it was the Gus episode where his illusions took over.
Mm.
When he sees Willow again, he blushes. So it's like, it's been like really small little details about like, because I really think they're gonna end up together like towards the end. Like obviously it's not gonna be a big, huge deal. But, like there's been nods.
So it's like canon.
It is, I'm pretty sure it's canon.
Underrated character is the Bat Queen. I really love her.
Yes, especially with her backstory of taking in all of the abused and abandoned palismen, and then her herself being a palisman.
Yeah.
Which to me, because of like her sheer size, I'm like, whoa, was that like a Titan or something?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. They really didn't dive into that. At least I don't think they did.
No, because like Luz was like, who is your owner? And she's like, it's been so many years, like I don't remember. And Luz said, like, if you ever want to find out, what happened, I will help you. Because Luz is like an absolute gem. Because of course she said that.
Yeah. Which brings me to another question of how did she have kids? Like how did she reproduce?
Asexual reproduction.
Can palismans do that?
Right.
Nothing's saying they can't.
That's true.
I'll say they were like literal spitting images of her, so
yeah.
If I remember right, there was 3 of them.
Do you think she could have carved them?
That is a possibility.
With what? Her teeth?
Her feet? Her feet?
Magic?
I don't know. Yeah. Palismans do magic. I don't know.
I guess it also depends on how old the children are, because at the time that Luce meets the Bat Queen, Bellos already took control of like all of the Palindrome wood. So it's like really hard to get.
Yeah. I just remembered like all the palisman shit.
I want one. I was gonna say about Flapjack. I really thought that Flapjack was, because they said towards the end of that episode that Flapjack said to the Bat Queen, maybe, or somebody, he said to somebody that he found an owner or something. I don't remember the exact verbiage, but I really thought that he was going to go fly to loose because there's this theory, superstition, idea that cardinals appear when we miss people. And it was around the time that she was like really missing her mom. And I really thought that he was just going to go fly into Luce's room, and that is not what happened.
Yeah.
That's
No,
a really cute concept, though.
Yeah, no, I was there when the episode actually got released. Like waiting for it to hit. I was like, oh, come on, I want to watch this. That's when I really fell in love with Hunter too, was that episode. But Flapjack was actually, God, I can't remember her name right now. Caleb's lover, like the original Caleb, his witchy girlfriend. That was hers talisman was Flapjack.
Oh.
And that makes sense with the cardinal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Your theory still works. Shit.
So that's why when it's like literally a spitting image of Caleb, like Flapjack recognizes, I was like, oh my gosh, like that's.
I didn't know. Did they say in the episode that was?
It is very
Caleb's...
heavenly implied.
I totally missed that.
So because of two instances, one in the flyer derby when he was like trying to infiltrate the school, he was just like, oh, like my name is and then Flapjack was like, Caleb, do Caleb, and he was like, yeah, my name's Caleb. So there was that, and then it was the first episode of season 3. He calls Flapjack the witch's name, which I can't for the life of me can't remember right now. It's like I want to say it's like Evelyn. I think it's Evelyn. So Evelyn and Caleb were together, which brings us to another theory that Ida's dad, like as a profession, carves talisman. Right. And you notice how like there's that alliteration of Idolin. Not Lilith doesn't fall into this. I can't remember her mom's name, but like it also ends in a Lynn. So we're assuming that Evelyn, I can't remember if that's her name. I'm pretty sure that is. I'll have to look it up. Is like one of the past like Clawthorns, like as part of the Clawthorn family. Oh. But yeah, according to the legend, like this is from the like wiki page, Evelyn was the one who brought Caleb to the demon realm and later Philip sometime around 1613. But yeah, Flapjack is Evelyn's talisman.
I'm gonna do some quick maths.
Yeah, because we haven't gotten to the episode yet, but later in season 3, episode 1, Bello says something related to Evelyn. And so that's why we know that it was like, oh, Flapjack is related to Evelyn, who was with his brother.
So if they came in 1613 and like it's 2022 in the Boiling Isles, allegedly that was like 409 years ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. So and then also like trying to think of how many golden guards between that time. Because like in the Hollow Mind you do see like a lot of torn up masks. And then on top of that, in episode 2 of season 3, you also see some of them like physically, because Bellos is kind of losing it. So there's like a lot of golden guards that have been like killed. So that's where I also feel like there is no Bellos like redemption arc like whatsoever, because he's been so desensitized.
No way.
Yeah. Like he's killed his brother over and over and over again. Like
did people think he was gonna get a redemption arc?
Well, at one point I think everybody wants to root for a villain redemption arc, because I mean, after you've seen Zuko go through his redemption arc, you kind of want everybody to have a good happy ending, but like at this point Bellos can't.
I need to mention that Mae Whitman, who voiced Katara, voiced Amity, and Grey Delisle, who voiced Azula, also voiced Amity's mother and somebody else who I don't remember. But also there was a point in which King, I believe, said, and I quote, "That's rough, buddy." And my boyfriend was talking about Avatar like 5 minutes before that happened, and I was like, excuse me, did you hear what he just said?
That's rough, buddy.
And I went to look to see if Dante Bosco, who voices Zuko, has voiced any characters in the Owl House, and he is not.
Unfortunately. No, he's doing a
Yeah,
lot of personal projects right now.
Ray Delisle voiced a few like background minor characters too.
They're also, I'm trying to remember their name right now because there's two non-binary characters actually in the Owl House.
One of
There's
them is Grey
Rain.
Delisle.
Yeah, one of them is the Great Delilah character. They're the one who runs the Gravesfield
She reads the
museum
tarot
now.
cards.
Yeah, reads the tarot cards. Is friends with V. I can't remember their
Yeah.
name right now.
I love Grey Delisle. Have you seen Grey Delisle's TikTok? You should look at it. I'll send you some later.
Her name is Masha.
Masha.
That's a good name.
Yeah, a lot of people ship Masha and V together because they're both like because when Luz was like away, V was the one who took the place of summer camp.
Mm-hmm.
And so made friends with Masha and like a bunch of other kids, and then they came back.
Yeah, I remember because in that episode, Luce to V is like, "Don't go up to them; they're gonna make fun of you," or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they all like high-fived or something, and it was really cute.
Yeah, because it wasn't revealed that they're non-binary until season 3, episode 1, because it was just a small little nod
Had a
where
bracelet on or something.
Yeah, it was the nails were non-binary
Oh,
colors.
yes.
So I love like little small nods to that where I'm like, oh, you don't have to say it. Same thing with the rain. Like you don't have to say it. This is what it is.
Yeah.
I am curious to see what like kids think about rain. Like, do they know, or do they just assume? I don't know.
I want to talk about how inclusive the show is with representation of the LGBT plus community as well as different races, because I think that's important and we don't see that enough in the media.
And they don't like bring huge attention to it. The only time I feel like they did is when it was in the montage in episode 1, season 3, where Luz comes out to her mom. I don't know if you saw that in the montage in the first 3 episodes. There's like a huge there's a huge like montage of like what they get down to while in the human realm, of like what they did with it, because it's like they're in the human realm for like some months.
I was fucking on my phone during the montage. God damn it, Kyla.
No, the montage is so important.
Fucking A shit, motherfucker. God damn it.
Like that's the only time they're like really in your face about it. That Luz comes out as bisexual.
That's
but there's also like smaller things. So like Willow has 2 dads. And it's just, like, they don't say anything like, we're all like, oh, wow, you have 2 dads. They're just like, oh, yeah, she has 2 dads. That's it. Or like how like real it felt when Luz and Amity got together.
Yep.
It's very much like, oh, yeah, this is like 2 kids like trying to figure themselves out. Like, it's not weird.
Also, just the main character being a Latina girl.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she is specifically Dominican.
Oh.
And also her having a name that's not like Maria.
Like it's specifically Luz. Like this is Luz Naceda.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, before the show I didn't know how to pronounce it.
And that forces you to learn.
And it forces you to learn, because like I was just like, is it Luz? Is it Luz? Is it what is it? No. Loose.
Yeah,
like,
and it's so cute because everybody around her is trying to learn Spanish too. So like Amity calls her, what was it, her sweet potatoes or her like, patata. I can't remember it. But then Keenan is also trying to learn. So everybody was just like wants to know who Luz is, especially since she's learning so much of their culture. They also try to learn hers.
They kind of put like an anthropological aspect into it as well. Specifically, something I had written down was the illusionist graveyard.
That was a very interesting episode that actually a lot of people skip out on, just because it doesn't have any of the real main characters.
Well, like there's a lot of culture in that episode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it very much reflects on like how white people just tear apart and steal shit from like indigenous cultures.
And then Gus was like, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this now that we know that we're here.
And there was that girl who I thought was a homie and wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm still focusing on that point you made about how Luz's name like she's a Latina girl whose name is not Maria. Like so many Latina characters are just like Maria or like
Guadalupe, Lupe, or Josephine, or
Julia.
Yeah, it's either white sounding or like something very basic. Like
Yeah.
you've heard time and time again.
Carla.
Yeah.
Like it's very typical, and there's nothing wrong with those names. I need to say that there's nothing wrong with those names, but they're very typical common names, like your generic Sarah, Katie,
Megan.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice that it's unique because there are people out there with unique Latinx names, and we should like put an effort to learn how to say them correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And I also like touching on the LGBT plus thing. Like I like how it's not in your face because it should be normal. Like it shouldn't be like it's just representation, but done in the right way. You know?
well, and like the amount, like how vastly different the characters are. Like
Yeah.
you have characters of all shapes and sizes as well. Like I remember seeing a Twitter post about how a lot of children's books are not fat inclusive, and that a lot of the characters in children's books are very skinny, and how you almost never see children's books with fat characters in them. And seeing this show and seeing like some of the adult characters that are curvy, like Amity's mom, and Willow, who's, you know, hitting puberty, but she's not stick thin. Like she's got a figure, and but she's still beautiful. And she has like these beautiful round cheeks and this beautiful floofy hair, you know, and you know, it's nice that they have characters that are of different sizes, ethnicities, sexualities in the show, that, you know, and it's geared towards kids, which it's like with Star Wars, with all the representation that Star Wars is having now. It's nice that they're showing the representation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I definitely, if I saw Owl House when I was a kid, I would have saw Willow and be like, oh my God, like she looks like me. And
Yeah, Willow is so incredibly I actually wish we had like another like bigger looking character that's part of the main cast. Because I do remember seeing some comics, especially like when episode 1 just hit, about how everybody can borrow Luz's clothes, but like Willow was just like, oh, let me borrow from the mom because she's like has the same figure as me. And those like comics were so cute. So like just seeing like even like more of that, I would also like, because Willow, again, she's so cute.
I love her character development.
Mm-hmm.
I just love Willow a lot. And
Love the name Willow.
yeah. And I can't think of one other character that like looked like me in cartoons when I was growing up. I mean, Kim Possible had hips, I guess, but she also had a tiny ass waist, which I did not have.
Man, no. No, and here's the I'm a huge cartoon expert, and I can pretty much agree with you. Like the cartoons that like were from the like the early 2000s, late 2000s, like just really didn't have it.
Yeah.
This is me as a child.
Cute.
I was always stick thin and like the skinniest person in my classes, but as an adult, I can appreciate the different sizes of characters in this show because I am no longer stick thin.
It's unfortunate, like the people who are just listening won't be able to see that.
You know, if you're a patron, you can see what just happened. Come join the inside joke.
Is there anything else we want to talk about?
You can honestly bring up anything, and I'll have a little anecdote about it. I just so much Nala House knowledge in me.
I was debating on whether or not I was going to bring this up, but because we were just talking about ethnicity, I want to say there are so many opportunities where they could have made puns with Luz's name. Like, they called her a loser once, and I was like, they could have done something with that. But at the same time, like, I am so glad that they didn't. Because, like, listen, I have a friend named Cassie, and I call her Casshole all the time. Okay.
Oh, I should call my cat that.
Yeah. But like a lot of the characters that were making fun of her were white, And I am so glad that they did not have a white character making fun of a Latina name.
Mm-hmm. No, the
Mhm.
only time they have a playoff of Luz's name is the Good Witch Lazura, because she's referring herself that she's Lazura.
They had the opportunities and they did not take them, and I'm glad that they did not. So,
Egg, is there anything that we should talk about that we didn't talk about?
I mean, there's a lot because we touched on the glyphs, the palisman.
Save for like important season 3 things that Kaya hasn't seen yet.
I'll see it tonight.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, there's a lot to unpack in the first and second episode that came out in season 3. Because season 3 also kind of just dives into, again, like Caleb and Philip's like relationship in the past, like more of human realm stuff. The second episode is more of like collector and like what the collector is able to do. Though I will say, when it comes to Dana, is that she has said that she's not a fan of happy endings.
Son of a bitch.
What the
So
fuck,
of course, like the
Dana?
whole fandom's up in arms about what that means for the Owl House specifically.
Why would she say that out
You know,
loud?
Here's a prediction. You said that there's a lot of things that have not been tied up yet. That probably means she's not going to tie up things.
No.
That's my guess, especially since it's been cut so short. I just don't want really like anybody who's like part of the main cast dying. Like I feel like that would be just gut wrenching.
Well, like I thought they had plenty of notice. Well, not plenty. I thought they had notice from Disney about the cancellation, and so I thought they were gonna tie up all the loose ends.
Not really. So like like I think they were like almost done with season 2 when they got the notification.
Okay.
Listen, I can tell you this right now. There are so many shows, but there's one in specific that I can think about where they have loose ends that have never been tied up, and they finished off that fucking show, and I was just like, this is a joke, right?
What show?
Specifically Criminal Minds. And there was
No.
a bad guy in season like 10 or so. And I wish I could remember what the episode name was. Blood Relations or something like that. He gets away and he ends up like stealing somebody's car. Like he like holds a knife to somebody's neck and is like, give me the fucking car keys or you're gonna fucking die. And Tony's like, so tell me we get like some closure on that. And I'm just like, I can't tell you anything because I don't know. I'm like, listen, I understand, you know, they're working on like reviving this, but as of right now, there's nothing. I have nothing to give you on this guy. And that was like the only loose end that I wish they had tied up because they did not.
No, there's so many shows that have just not been tied up or like just flat up canceled. They don't even have the ability to like get it all tied up. So it just ends on a cliffhanger.
I hate that. I hate that so fucking much. If you're gonna cancel the show, like be courteous because they have brought you money.
Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix, HBO Max. Like they brought you money and customers. Like be courteous. Let them finish their goddamn story. Like what the fuck? Speaking of criminal minds though, stay tuned for the bonus minisode we're going to be doing on Patreon sometime this season. Okay. Is that it? Are we Gucci?
I don't have anything more to add from what I've experienced thus far.
I want to say you'll have a lot more questions once you watch the 2 episodes because there's a lot they just throw at you.
I don't have anything else to add either. I think that if you haven't watched The Owl House but you've listened to this whole episode,
watch it.
Thank you. Also watch out The Owl House.
Please watch The Owl House.
Thank you for joining us, Egg.
Of course, it was a pleasure. I love going off about The Owl House or just in general cartoons.
Do you want to share your social media?
I mean, sure. I cosplay sometimes. You can follow me at king.eggie.cos.
Hit us with that outro, Kyla.
You want me to do the whole thing?
Yeah, hit us with it.
Thank you for listening to the Movie Witch podcast. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Let us know what you think by leaving a review and follow us on social media at Movie Witch Pod and at the Movie Witch Podcast. If you like what you heard and want to help us grow and improve, please consider supporting us on Patreon for $2 or $7 per month. Our Patreon benefits include getting episodes a week early, unedited video versions of episodes, and exclusive Patreon bonus episodes. You can follow me, Kyla, at Sugar Moon Witch for tarot and astrology content. And Kaya, where can they follow you?
You can follow me down the street to the bank. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, but I don't post very often on Instagram. But it's at Otter of the World, no underscores, all one word. Doesn't matter if it's capital or lowercase because it doesn't matter.
Okay.
And you can follow us at Movie Witch. Yeah. Got it.
Got it. Till next time. Bye, witches.
Bye, witches.
Bye, witches.
Wait, we should do it how they do in the show. Bye.
Oh, yeah. Okay, bye.
Bye.